I am absolutely convinced that business is supposed to be a noble pursuit. It's us making our exchanges with one another in profound and transparent and mutually beneficial ways. And I agree, let's be part of that movement to have business and the UN come together and make a difference where we can. I really apologize that for good reasons we have expanded a lot of our time today. There is tons of wisdom and questions in here. Let's see if we can get a little bit in, and let's keep this conversation going. Please be in touch with us. This is just the beginning of more chapters to come.
But I just want to say that being from San Francisco, I'm part of WIN and part of the Women's Fifth World UN conference. Thank you. we want to have a Fifth World Women's Conference in 2015 in San Francisco, and we hope you will all be on board because we need all of you. I have flyers if any of you are interested, and I need to talk to you in it.
Thank you for your wonderful presentation. I think we are all world changers, and we have to be, because humanity is now right on the brink. Kofi Annan, I think, said that humanity is sleepwalking toward extinction. And it's up to us to change the world around. And I think you are telling us that's what we've got to do. And we've got to all find out and consult on how we do it, because without that, there is no livable future for any of Earth's children, or people, for our environment, or for other species on the Earth. So we have to have a world in one PEACE and one PIECE. And that's our job. It's the women that will do it.
I'm a student from the University of North Carolina, and I'm here with the organization Women NC, whose primary mission is the ratification of CEDAW within the United States. This question is directed for all of the panelists, but particularly in response to something that Ms. Goldstein said. And you talked a lot about kind of stepping outside of structures which prohibit change. And so when you look at the domestic, in particular, the global political structures that oftentimes seem to promote stagnation and lack of political action, I wondered, there's clearly value in engaging the political systems and structures, but what are strategies to help reform those political systems so that we can still engage them without becoming trapped in the stagnation?
I think we really need a both and more approach to everything. Celinda Lake, who is a researcher, did a lot of research on women in corporations and businesses inside structures, and found that, in fact, because of this power problem, this problem that women actually don't want to engage with an abuse of power, there's a huge exit. After we work so hard to get into these structures, now women are exiting because they find it's impossible to live in authenticity and comfort in them, and so many are becoming entrepreneurs and stepping outside. And Celinda raised the question that I think I'm hearing in your question, which is, well, if all the women leave these big corporate structures, then there's no reform going on inside, so what do we do? And so sort of the question that I hear is like, can we create a parallel universe while we're waiting for, these other structures? Maybe they'll crumble if we just leave them. And I don't think that's so. I think that the revolution and evolution that we're all talking about is a long, slow, hard, daily practice work everywhere we are. We need inside strategies in our own beings. Omega believes very much in this integrated approach to personal and social change. How are we angry? Gandhi, be the change. How are we showing up? I, as an activist, a reproductive rights activist for so many years, when I found myself just pounding my fist so hard, and I looked at myself, I thought, wait a minute, what am I becoming? I'm becoming that which I'm fighting against. So there's a personal transformation story in all of this. So a big piece of the work I'm saying is individual. We each have this deep work to do to study ourselves, reflect on ourselves, heal our traumas within our own families, and to be as awake as we can in every political structure, every corporate structure, which is what you're talking about. Reforming, bringing the voice to the table, no excuses, grabbing a sister, saying, you know what, we don't have a maternity leave policy here, this doesn't work for us, etc., etc. So I'll share.
I want to add that I think we have allies that we didn't have before, particularly in your generation of young men, who also want to have a life and earn a living and have a better political process. And so now I really think this is the moment. I like to say there's now a generation of men who's been raised by women like me, okay? I mean, you know, the women's movement has changed men as profoundly as it has changed women. And so I think we need to really reach out and form those kinds of alliances, and to do so in a leaderly kind of way, not to be afraid. You know, in answer to one of the comments you made about Eileen Fisher not thinking it was not right for her to be tooting her own horn, well, heck yes it is. I mean, one of the reasons why men remain in power and women don't get there is that they do toot their own horns, and we need to do that. And the last thing I will say is that women are half as likely as men to even think about running for office. That's right. You can't win if you don't run. You can't win if you don't run. So we need to just to do it. Thank you.
I wanted to provide you a comment. As a young woman who's trying to find my voice in the social justice world, but also become a leader in the modern world. We as young women so badly want to take on a leadership position and follow your footsteps, but are still often growing our own perspective and our own voice. In order for more of us to do so, we need more mentorship and partnership with women like yourselves. I am so incredibly inspired by all of you and the others that I've seen here at CSW. And in order for us to continue on as activists, we need more guidance and more mentorship from yourselves. So I just wanted to provide you this insight and leave you with the challenge of intergenerational partnership to ensure that we as young women can continue on the work that you've done so well and to be global leaders in the future. So thank you very much.
From Australia, and I'm here for the first time at CSW as a member of the International Council of Women delegation. Gloria, when you asked how many of us were willing to take on power, I didn't respond right away, and I apologize and I repent of that. And my mind goes back about 20, maybe 25 years to a time when, as a member of a faith congregation with no professional ministry, I was being invited by a man to assume the role of Public Affairs Director for the congregations in the whole of Western Australia. This position had never before been held by a woman, and it had also never been held by a man who knew how to do the job. So, I felt the weight of the responsibility, and I was mulling over whether or not I would accept the position when this really nice man, he was really nice, said to me, "You see, the thing about you, Jerry, is," and didn't he think he was paying me a huge compliment, "you tend to operate like a man." "Whoa," I said. Whoa, Roy, I don't operate like a man, but I do operate like a competent woman. You may not have met many of them, but there are a lot of us out there, and there are going to be more. Young women, look men right in the eye. Put your hand out and grip them harder than they grip yours. Play their game. We're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you.
I had in your statement that powerless is associated with negative in our minds, I think, and redefining power. I love that. I'm buying your book. I have a question for Annette. I volunteer for U.S. National Committee for UN Women, but on the side I work for IBM. Yeah. So my question to you is, other than money,
Yes?
what are the top 3 things you want from private sector?
Look, I think that we want the private sector to be a good partner. And I think Eileen Fisher is one of the many corporations that have actually endorsed and our women's principle, and I named them. You know, we are a normative agency, and so we look for that first, to be a good business representative, certainly. resources is what makes the world move forward. I mean, I'm not going to, and we're always looking for financial partnerships with corporations. And then we're also looking for best practices, people who want to share the success stories, just like Eileen Fisher, and who can actually come to the UN. I mean, I convene a lot of corporate conference around a number of themes, not just gender, where we want CEOs to talk about leadership, to UN leadership. So it's an exchange conversation. So.
Excellent. Thanks.
Sure.